time and a quarter.
Okay, we're recording.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the January 21st, 2026, 4 p.m. Policy Committee meeting of the Board of Education of RSD 13. Is there any public comment?
There's no one online.
All right, so then we will close public comment. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the December 17th, 2025 meeting?
So moved.
I'll second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Right, so first up, you know what, can we just do a quick roll call of names for the Christine Cowan?
Jenny Lucier.
Bob Moore, what about
Sydney Leggett, Superintendent.
Lucy Petrella.
Jamie Rohrbach?
Nicholas Constantino.
Okay, all right, so first up is.
Yeah.
We have a student representation today. Excellent. So the first policy up for review is the library collection development and maintenance.
So I just wanted to give a brief overview of these three. These three are now newly required by statute. So these are all part of a lot of the legislative efforts that happened over last summer. Our three library media specialists developed these initial drafts of the policies, and Jenny Lucier is here to answer questions, any questions that you may have. She was also very active at the state level in the legislation part too, so understands the legislation changes very well. There were two options moving forward with these policies. There was an option to have one single policy that was a shipment policy, and then CABE had three separate policies. And given the desire for the library media specialists to really have a very well-defined, especially collection and development policy, the preference was to go to three separate policies. It also makes it so that the regulations are divided among three as opposed to like 20 pages of regulations in one policy. So we think that this is a lot more digestible. I don't know, Jenny, do you want to add anything for an overview before we just go over the first one?
I don't think so. I guess I can just say that, I looked very closely at both CABE and Shipman and Goodwin's policies. We had developed our own, model policies and making sure that obviously everything fit with the law, but understanding that what the law said was bare minimum. So it wasn't just, it wasn't as detailed as I think most of us wanted it. So it includes exactly what's in the law, which is what both of those guys had, but also adds the things that we really felt need to have specifically for the collection development policy. But I am happy to answer any questions. This was my life for 2 years. I lived, breathed, wrote, helped write the law, and helped write this. So it is near and dear to my heart, and I think it's so important for our communities to make sure we have these.
All right, well, I guess we'll start with the first one. Library collection development and maintenance.
I have a couple questions. When you're looking at the page, it talks about all the way down on the first page, the second to the last paragraph, once a decision has been made. It says for a new request for review consideration, you can't do one for a period of 3 years.
Correct.
Why did they determine 3 years? What if something comes up in between that time? And is there a possibility to do 3 years so that you look at it or?
So by law, that's what the
law says?
legislature decided. Correct.
Wow. I mean, could we put what we wanted on there or do we have?
No, it is literally, that's what.
Is that the 5 year piece too, when they say to upgrade every 5 years? They said.
Those were not my
Upgrade
choices.
Sooner,
Right.
yeah.
There are many reasons for those things, and if you, obviously, I pay a lot of attention to what's going around around the country. In particular, there are things where groups of people that maybe don't even live in that community are just sending lists of books that they want removed, and so they're just over and over, and it clogs up a lot of your time, our time, things like that. So there were some very specific reasons for all of that to be happening.
This is Connecticut legislation.
This is Connecticut legislation, correct? Yep.
And the other question, well, of course, this is probably on the other ones, but I'll wait till you get to the next one.
And everybody has the introductory, like, there's an introduction that has definitions for.
Yeah.
Those that combine that into
Combine
something.
them into the policies, because there was really no way to,
To do that.
and I didn't want to leave it in just one policy.
Yep.
So
And they really should belong to
Yeah.
all three of them, correct? Yep. Okay.
Oh, I know, this is on this one here too. On the third page,
Are you in collection, development and maintenance, or are you?
library materials, collection,
Development and maintenance.
collection, reconsideration.
Oh, you're in reconsideration.
Oh, that's same.
Is that not it? Which one are we looking at?
We're looking at A, library collection development and maintenance.
Okay. All right, so I did have a couple questions. Overall, we've talked about the library having a revamping as to its purpose. Does this allow for that as well? Because it seems to focus a lot on some of the similar stuff that's already in libraries. And does it leave you the ability to expand and do other things?
I would say yes. Yeah, you
Yes.
mean like if we talked about adding maker space kind of
Right,
things, yeah,
right.
absolutely. I don't think this would prohibit anything
Okay.
from that happening.
That was one of my questions. In the second paragraph, they're talking about, that the book should represent, I think I already, found out, divergent viewpoints. Who monitors this? I think it goes to the superintendent. I read it later. I put this question in before.
Well, I guess it depends because it's really the responsibility of the library media specialist to curate the collection and to make sure that all viewpoints are represented. I think it's only, and actually, I don't even know if the superintendent is part of the challenge team. If they're
Or they're
designated.
Definitely.
Yeah. So like I don't go through and see what books are and aren't in the library. That's up to our specialists who are trained to do that.
But you certainly
Okay.
could, that is available. We have to send our lists up to
It does
central
put
office.
both. I put this question in here and then I read it later and forgot to cross it out.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think I do want to just say too, like, this is very specific to, like, what students are just choosing for voluntary inquiry. This is not curricular at all. And so sometimes people get very confused about that. And so this is literally what students would come in. So there's no requirement that they read X book. It's just what's here for them to choose from.
to choose from, right,
And for teachers to, choose from or whatever.
right. Okay.
Regulation, to get rid of stuff. And it doesn't seem to allow people to come to click it.
Yeah, some of that I left because I just, we've had so many changes with
Yeah.
like, here, like, here's where, we've had Corn, we had
Yeah.
millions of books at Corn. So if you guys want to fiddle with that part, I just put in what I thought was potentially the latest version of when we're removing things. I know there was like, first it goes here, then it goes here, then, but some of that had to do with building when we were changing the buildings around. So I put the best of what I knew, and you guys might want to change that depending on where we stand with that stuff right now.
Yeah, so Kim and I talked about that a little bit. So generally the policy is you try to sell
Yeah.
and then you donate. And then after those are done, then you give away. And then you hope you can find somebody to give it away to.
Oh, far better than the state of Connecticut, good lord.
No. And we have, we have companies that will want to take stuff.
Right.
But we talk a lot about, like, if stuff's particularly like nonfiction, if we're pulling it out of the library for a reason, I don't want that book, I don't want that stuff donated because the information's incorrect or 50 years old or whatever. So we don't want to be selling that and giving that, like, it's a tricky situation. Yeah. Fiction's a little bit
Yeah.
different because, many times fiction, and that just rotates, but particularly nonfiction, You know, I don't want to send to Africa my books that we pull, you know, like, that's not cool, you know, it's just not cool. So,
On the
so feel free to massage that however you guys need to.
last page of the regulation, the first word says data collection. What is that?
Where are you?
Maybe
looking
I'm
at?
missing it.
That's okay.
I might be missing a page in between.
Essentially, that is trying to figure out through data, not just, you know, Jenny walking through the library going, oh, not this one, but that literally I am, and I've been doing that now at Brewster because we're moving in 18 months. We cannot bring every single book over there. So I am printing out reports that show in this section, if the book hasn't been checked out in 10 years, we're probably gonna pull that, right? So like, but I'm not just doing that willy-nilly, I'm doing that with intention and, you know, very thoughtfulness, making sure that I'm not pulling stuff out that's curricular related, you know, that kind of stuff.
And that's the
I
same as
like that.
reading.
I like the way that. was put
Correct,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I like the way
yeah,
that was-
weeding's the, you know, not fancy word for that. Yeah, but just really being clear about how we are doing these
Okay.
things. And I guess in addition to, you know, keeping a log so that if you guys ever wanted to see, like, what are you guys pulling out? You know, we can produce those reports and share that with you. So if the public ever had a question about that, we would be able to explain that.
I think I see what you're saying in terms of formatting, so I wonder if where data collection management system reports is, I think that might be number 8 in that list, right?
It looks like it should be, but
Oh, yeah, you know, I was wondering what that was at first when I started to read it, I was a little
Yeah.
confused. What it,
But, yep, no, I totally see
what
that.
happened,
Yeah.
yeah.
should be number
It'd
8,
be number
Well, I
8 on the
or
list.
just the bold.
I think it's just because the number 8 is literally like what things to. So here's the reasons why, and that's maybe just
Over,
it's
like
more
an
of a heading,
umbrella.
like, here's
Okay.
how we're doing that.
No, this
So I
should-
don't think it's number 8.
Okay.
Maybe it should just be
a
bold.
Bold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it should be both. but-
Yep.
Okay.
It just seems.
Yeah, I was a little
No, it
confused, I went back several times back and
Yeah.
forth
Yeah.
to see where it fit, yeah, I remember that.
So it seems like the policy itself is good. We might wanna maybe tweak regulations, maybe especially as we, go through the merging of the schools process or anything else, but those are easily, right, Bob, like amended. It doesn't have to go through the policy.
Right.
Committee. Okay,
Approve it, I think, maybe.
all right.
And Christine, as soon as you and Jamie figure out what the name of the new school is, you should tell Jamie first, because he wants to start
We
stamping
need to
books.
All right.
I'm gonna stop stickering with Brewster and I'm gonna start stickering with the new name.
By April, is that correct?
I think that you guys were hoping for like, like end of
That would be
April,
nice.
or something. We'll see. You're gonna have a
I'm
house
nervous.
meeting house. Okay, all right, so we're good on that one, then we'll go to library displays and programs.
And I will say for this one, this was pretty much came straight out of the law. I don't think we added anything. This is
Okay,
exactly what came out of the law.
okay,
I mean, I put obviously our school district name in there, but.
um. Did anyone?
Yeah, the second page. Displays of library materials will not be curated solely by outsiders, which just means that you're gonna have to say.
Correct.
Before anything gets put up in the library. So if
Somebody wanted to come in and
put up a display of baseball,
we need to
get approval.
make sure that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Does that include the board event meeting here?
Yes. I don't think we consider that a program. That's not a program. You're just using the space. But this would be like a display or a program that we were, giving the kids or something like that.
Okay, any other questions, comments on the library displays and programs? Good, okay. All right, then we'll move on to the last one, which is library materials review and reconsideration.
I have a question here. They define an individual with a vested interest as a parent, guardian, a staff employee, or even a student,
Correct.
current student.
Correct.
But then when you go on to page 3, under formal request for reconsideration, the second paragraph in there where it says it starts using the request form. You go down a little ways, it says consideration of a request to reconsider remove displays, material displays or student programs shall be limited to the parents. So,
It should say just vested, people of vested interest.
yeah, because all of a sudden
Yeah, yep.
it's shortening it out.
Yep.
So it should be
That's
individual
under-
with a vested interest.
That's under the regulation piece. Oh, wait, no,
All
sorry.
right,
No, no,
it's
sorry. No, I missed.
No, I think you're right. It's under the regulations. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, regulations, yeah. Mhm.
Under formal request for reconsideration.
Yes.
Okay, so change to person with vested interest.
I think that was it.
Maybe,
It's right, it's in this second paragraph under formal request for reconsideration, second to last sentence.
oh, right here. So it should be individual with vested interest.
On policy, can we also add the definition of the review committee? Because it refers to going to the review committee.
So I think that is in there. It's,
Or-
yeah, it's number 3. Number 3 has everybody who has to be on the review committee.
Or do you just want?
In the regulation,
Yes.
no, I mean, in the policy. It refers once the decision is made, until the final decision is made by the review committee. The review committee is only defined in the regulation, and I just thought we ought to have the definition of review committee.
Do you want
In the
more of a
policy.
generic definition in the policy, or do you want actually all of these
Regulation.
refer to the regulation? Okay.
Or just that it, review committee may have, I might have read that.
It's really long.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, so not repeat it, but just like
Yeah,
make
just
sure that
say
it's a
it.
cross-reference.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can read it. And I didn't know what ALA is.
the American Library Association.
I'll write that out.
Got it.
that would make sense. That's what it stands for. So that would make sense. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, I try to catch most of those things, but thank you.
Maybe, so we're gonna make that change for add a bullet point for underneath definitions for review committee. And then we're gonna define LAA. LALA. Gosh.
We also could include in this one, the legislative reference as well, because it's on the other two. It's the same one, right?
Same one. It's all under the
Yeah. 25.
2593.
So it's consistent.
Any other questions, comments?
Thanks, a lot of thanks to you and Tracy and Michael for really going through this and.
Is there any questions on the forms? I don't know if that's.
I have one more observation on number 6.
Okay.
It allows you to go to the full board for an appeal.
Correct.
Well, there's already a board member on the review committee. It's okay with me.
It's just how it was written in the
It's the
law.
law.
That's just the law.
Okay, good.
And again, it is purely, there's no, like, you can't look at the book and say, no, it stays or goes. You can only say whether or not it followed the collection development policy. And so that's why the collection development policy was so crucial to make sure that that was very accurate and very, up to date. Because if you're basing something on something, you want to make sure that it's
And it's not, yeah, so it's not an appeal of the decision.
It's not an
It
appeal.
is, it is a,
It's only a check, did,
Of the
where the
process.
process is followed.
You didn't, the new name in.
Fill that in when.
Some memorial here.
I know.
Uh,
I don't know what to put. I had to go with what was literally inexistent right now, so.
We need to modify the policy when a name is picked out, or?
I think what we'll wind up doing at some point is we'll just say a blanket, make all changes to the new name where necessary, and then we'll keep finding them for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the forms, and we get a really good sense of why they're asking for something.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the other important thing, I think, as school librarians, we are not saying that there's never things that shouldn't be in a library, but we want to make sure that there is a clear process and that there are no laws or things being violated because of that. And so that people can't just come in and say they don't like a book because they don't like the color of the author or, whatever it is. And so, but unfortunately, that's what we see so much around the country. And we're proud of Connecticut for making a stand and saying, this is not gonna happen here. Because even though many people think it doesn't happen here, it happens far more often than we believe. And, just it's disappointing. So I think Region 13 is really well positioned to, be clear. And I never want you guys to ever be in a position where, because, the lawsuits are, extraordinary. Like when you look at how much people are paying around the country and per book challenge, it makes you and, the work I do around the state, there are quite a number of boards of education that said, we're not gonna update, or we're not gonna do these policies. And I was like, okay, like, well, good luck then.
Yeah, I know.
Because if all somebody has to do is sue you, and I don't want that to happen to this community. So I think we're really well positioned, and I really appreciate all of you guys supporting all of this, truly. So
I mean, that's great work. That's like very well said.
thank
I
you.
like that.
It truly, besides my family, potentially was the proudest moment of my life last year.
When it passed.
When it passed, our current president and myself, we were at the Capitol at midnight when they voted on it, and we cried. We cried because you put that much time and effort into something that is, because truly, it's about them. It's about these kids and making sure that they have access. There's a little girl that came in. But there's a little girl that came into my library the other day, and she's Muslim, and she had taken out a book about something about a hijab, and she was so excited to see herself represented in our school library. And I showed her all these other books, and she's like, "Oh, and you have books on Ramadan and Eid," and that's why this matters. And it's kids that need to be able to see themselves, and kids that maybe aren't Muslim that need to learn about those things, so that when they go out in the world, as per our mission statement, that they're ready to go. So contrary to some of the stuff I see on Facebook. But we don't need to talk about that. So I really do appreciate everything that you guys do. It's great.
These will go to our next board meeting.
Yeah.
We could do it on the 28th, I guess. We want to add stuff to it.
Sure.
I want to the
Do you?
25th.
Do you want to add it to the 28th?
I'm not doing anything.
It's the birthday.
Yes, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna be here for training already.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make it go a little bit quicker, to get them in. Yeah, that's, if it's because it's just a first read, so
Yeah.
it usually goes, I think that can go pretty quick. This way, then the second read would happen in February.
3 other people who haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, so I think it should be okay.
Would you like me to come to that meeting to answer questions? I don't know how it works, but is it?
Policy chair.
I don't know, I mean, I could check
happy
in with
to
the
do so,
other
but-
board members, well, it's a Saturday, so I feel like.
Well, this would
There's
be
rarely
Wednesday.
robust debate
Oh, that
on the
one's the
second
Wednesday,
read,
28th
so
on that Wednesday.
It's a
sorry.
training.
You have.
We have a lot of other things.
Yeah, no, I feel like we kind of maybe touch base, just make sure, see if anyone, because we'll send it out in advance, and maybe what we could say is if anyone has any concerns or questions, you're happy to come. If not, we'd like to.
Yeah.
Let you
Otherwise,
stay for your
we need to do
evening.
it before we have
Yeah.
another meeting, so.
Yeah, keep me posted, you know, if I need.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're so welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your evening. I got 3 more meetings to go to, so. Okay.
We don't.
We only have building committee, just one.
Well, any public comments?
Let's see if anybody came on. Nobody's on.
Okay, so then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Wait, who seconded that?
Oh, I thought he,
You seconded.
Oh, you-
yeah. All in favor? Aye.
You can dance again.
Yeah, there we go. This meeting's done. I'm staying, I have another one at 5, but Scott should be here in like 10 minutes today, so.
Or you could do like a classic ending where you say, that's all, folks.
That's all for today.
Meet with you.